Welcome to the Linehaul Playbook. I'm your host, Emily Blair. Joining me in my virtual studio today is Shawn Huff. Shawn is a driver and a safety manager and has agreed to come on and chat with me this morning about the basics of safety. Shawn, thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome. I work for Encore Express. I'm a driver for Tater Transport. For that company, I oversee the 140 some odd drivers that we have as their safety director and friend, trainer. So that's where the story starts. And then I have several companies outside of that that I do videos for on a regular basis, weekly, as per their need. That's another maybe 60 total drivers. So around 200 that I get to communicate with, and that's the 140 are my fun guys because I get to actually interact with them and I love them. They're the ones that irritate me. They're the ones that make my day harder with paperwork, and I'm the one that irritates them with the redundant safety messages that they get. So
I love that. That's great. One thing you said to me when we first spoke and I asked you to come on and join me was the wheel has been round for a long time. What does that mean?
To me, it refers to the fact that we're not bringing up new things to old drivers and they're frustrated, but the new driver for a company is seeing it for the first time, but it's going to get old for them. The wheel has been round forever. Nobody was around when it was octagon. They're all dead. Okay, somebody made that advancement long before we came along. So our job in safety is going to be how to keep people engaged, and it's harder and harder every year because of the advancements in society. They affect us. We're in the generation of instant gratification, and when we talk to our drivers, we're giving out old information a lot. We're telling them again and again, I sound like their mother. Please clean up your room. So
Absolutely. Can you tell me how it has changed managing safety from when you started to today?
absolutely. There have been companies that have very stringent processes and programs. With FedEx, it's been an evolving system where they used to give out safety messages at the window. The drivers would walk in and be like, "Hi, dispatcher," and the dispatcher, if they were a really good dispatcher, would be like, "Want you to be safe today, be careful, it's raining out there," or some simple blurt. Or they would pay for the Smith system years ago at FedEx, and they would say something like, "Aim high in steering today." That doesn't exist anymore because the drivers are dispatching virtually on their cell phones. They don't see people. They get less interaction. So therefore they don't get that personal message every single day. So now it's gone from where they get those that way to how do we get the message to them? Well, do we go with a video weekly? Do we send a message through whatever link system we have to their ELD, or are we able to talk to them? FedEx has a very unique business model. They don't necessarily have to talk to a dispatcher or owner. Their owner could be very hands-off and be like, "Go over there and start your run and let me know where you're going later on this week." Did they get a safety message? Did they just get a safety video? Did they just get the monthly video that FedEx requires? There's been huge changes. The evolving path that we've taken, I mean, it used to be me talking to the 15 or 20 drivers we had to, "I'll go down on Sunday and put a piece of paper they can sign in their truck," to, "Okay, thanks, I'll return that and get it back on Sunday," to, "Okay, guys, this is getting boring. I'm sure you're tired of looking at these JPEGs that I've printed on paper with a short message. Let's go to walk into the safety shack and see a TV, and I'll read it to you. I'll make it even easier on you, and you just sign that you've actually listened to it." To, I give them a video. Now we have multiple dispatchers that we try to reach out to our drivers on a daily basis just to make sure they're going the right direction, make sure they've dispatched correctly, and hey guys, here's your, 2 or 3 word safety message for the day for the guys in the, Northeast. It's snowing, slow down. It's evolving constantly, and those are the steps that we've taken today to get to where we are, where we video message them once a week. They have their monthly test. They have a quarterly meeting, which we just finished up. I'm sure they were all excited to come in and see me. And if there's anything that's of an emergency, we reach out to them. That's how it's evolved.
Yeah, that's great. So do you use any technology now to ensure that they're watching the videos? Because sometimes my husband will send me an Instagram reel that is not exciting to me, and I maybe don't watch it. How do you keep your guys from doing the same thing?
There's tracking within the systems that I use that I can see how fast or how many of them watch it and who watches it. So I can get on those as like, hey, congratulations for getting your license, but you've never heard about ... Don't fast forward through the video. I'm going to reassign it to you. Oh, Shawn. Yeah. Okay. Next time we'll see you in the office and you will sit with me and I'll watch my own video with you.
How do you have time to do this with roughly 200 drivers?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of my drivers have been around in the 200 group for 5 or more years. Okay, they really have stuck with the company, so they know my requirements. They discuss it with me. At Encore, we have a massive crew of people that they can get to, the dispatchers. So it's only when true problems come along that I have to jump in. If it's just menial, I reach out real quick, like, hi, hey, let's not do that again. Yesterday, prime example, I got a picture of somebody parked at a 45-degree angle to everybody else, and I was just like, can we try not to do this again? And they were like, did they send you a picture? And I'm like, yes, on my day off. And I'm wondering, was it just you weren't thinking or don't want to do your job? Just answer that question and I'll go away. And they were like, we're in a hurry, so I guess not doing our job. And I'm like, okay, let's have a good day. Let's not do that again. Thanks.
Do you feel like the biggest part of being effective is just making sure that you stay on top of those small violations that you see? Is it just the accountability piece?
It is. Accountability is number one. If you're not engaged with the small problem, it blossoms into a bigger problem. If you say, okay, you got a little close there and scraped the bumper, don't do that. If you don't say that, you're allowing them to get close every single time until I'm sorry, that's a $1,500 or $1,600 hood. Yeah, you have to be super engaged with that. You have to be on the small stuff.
Yeah. And now a lot of what you've talked about for your messaging is actually driving safe. Do you also handle the pre and post trip inspections?
We do. We do handle all that. There's nothing that's not on the plate. I mean, honestly, I have covered things as silly as when you're at home, make sure you get good rest, take your vitamins. Like, this is how whatever your doctor tells you, I'm not your doctor. I don't hesitate to poke into their interpersonal life a little bit because it affects their job ability. I've told them, I know there's several of my drivers that have, maybe an issue. Maybe they're a sick child, a sick mother, somebody's passed away. It's like, hey, do you really need to come to work today? Do you really need to be out there? Or can you take a vacation day and just take care of yourself? That is where it starts. If they're not healthy and they're not on their game, not good.
That level of care has to improve your driver retention. I know you said you have a lot of drivers there for a long time. Do you feel that that's true? That just caring more for the drivers and being more involved keeps them around longer?
Oh, I get the title of bad cop. Good cop is my boss. A good cop does an immensely wonderful job of caring about us. I came on, I had a broken down old car, broken down old pickup truck, and I lived in a trailer. He has helped me immensely improve my life, and he does it with all of us. He's like, the first thing you say to him is like, well, I don't know how I'm going to pay these bills, and he says, well, do you want to come to work on Saturday and work another day and you'll have the money? Okay, I mean, he just promotes us staying there. If somebody's sick, somebody's ill, their life thing changes, he's like, well, we'll just get you a run that fits your problem here. We'll help you out. So yeah, no, the interpersonal relationship has a lot to do with the retention for the drivers and the care of the trucks, what we provide them. Every company will have that. But constant hiring is never going to not be a thing for any of us, especially in FedEx. Especially
Yeah.
in FedEx.
Yep,
Yeah.
I've heard that a lot. Now, are you involved in the hiring process as well?
Not anymore.
Oh, is that good or bad?
Years years ago, I was safety director, hiring guy, and driver all at once. And now I have this guy named Drew who is just fabulous. We have like a zero cost on our stuff. He doesn't do any advertising. He literally goes to schools. We hire people out of there constantly. And then it's word of mouth with maybe some referral bonus or something.
So, hiring straight out of schools, do you like the new drivers? Do you enjoy being able to form them the way you want them to be?
Absolutely. There's a learning curve with them always. One out of every five is just the golden star. Then you got the in betweens, the B's and C's, and then you get your let's not do this anymore type. I think it is upon us as we hire those out of the school to really get them into what we need them to be, and then help them along in the industry. We've had guys leave and come back. I think jokingly they named the company Encore. I've never got a real answer out of them in 20 years, like where that came from. But our return rate is amazing. People leave for a little bit and they come back like, oh, I thought the grass was greener. It's not. So.
And you welcome them back?
Oh, absolutely. As long as they've left with a decent reputation and given the appropriate time period, kindness, if they just dropped out of sight and it's like, well, why would I do this again? It makes no
Yeah.
sense. So.
Do you think they leave for, is it higher pay or is there something else that they perceive? I mean, is it trucks? What is it that you think they might leave for that could be greener?
Home time, higher pay, promises of the industry. You'll make this or that. I mean, you read it on the back of other trucks. FedEx doesn't put it there. We don't put it there. The consideration of maybe how their life is changing. They want to do something local. They think it's a better situation for them. I've had several of my drivers quit, go to local jobs, and really have their lives go bad because they're out 14 hours a day. They run home. They get 8 hours sleep. Maybe by midweek they're exhausted. Whereas teaming, they're out on the road. They're like, I work 10 hours, maybe 11, and then I have to sit bunk and I sleep as best I can. So it's what works for the human themselves. But I had one end up having a wreck locally and end up in manslaughter charges because it was just. It was bad. I mean, it wasn't intentional. Nobody intentionally did it, but he just fell asleep at the wheel because he wasn't doing his job, and that's. And I've had other ones just roll trucks, because I've been working so much every day, and I got tired and I fell asleep. And I'm like, so I warn them when they're going local. It's like you're going to work some long hours. You're going to get tired in a different way, and you don't really get the opportunity to call me and say, I'm fatigued, I need to take a nap. You don't have a sleeper berth now, Where are you going to take a nap? At the steering wheel? Not healthy. So, yeah.
How do you prevent that? I mean, when you've got local drivers that are tired like that?
Tell them to take a day off if that contractor can afford it. Fortunately, my contract doesn't really have a lot of day drivers, but even our day drivers that they split a run per se without both being in the truck at the same time. They have a bed in the back. We have nothing but sleeper berth trucks. No, just pull over, take a nap, man. We'll wait. We'll call you in an hour. Make sure you're up and running. Did you take your half-hour break yet? No. We'll take it. Well, I might have to take another one. Well, good. You'll take 2 naps today. We're not so stressed, and I'm not afraid. And neither is my boss to call FedEx and be like, I'm so sorry, but the driver is fatigued, and you know the rules, and I know the rules, and if you want your trailer there in one piece, and I want my truck not to be broken, we're all going to cooperate. We'll get it there as soon as possible, and let's not have any conversations about failed loads. That's just, I don't want to. I'll fail a load, not a life.